First tonight at 6, a developing story. A judge orders a Madison wrongful death lawsuit to continue.
Plus, what has become a big problem recently in Madison, a Dane County judge says has a relatively simple solution.
And later, a whirlwind of controversy leaves several open seats on the Beloit School Board of Education.
This is News 3 at 6.
Thanks for joining us. A wrongful death lawsuit will continue after a judge denies the defendant's claim that they're bankrupt. 23-year-old Emily Zhu was killed in June of 2015 after she was hit by a car while riding her bicycle on Madison's west side. Her parents are suing the driver, and our Rose Schmidt has been at the courthouse all day and joins us here with the very latest. Rose?
Eric and Charlotte, the judge said today that the driver and his wife filed the bankruptcy lawsuit to avoid paying the debt that they could owe Emily Zhu's parents if they win the wrongful death lawsuit. In 2015, Zhu was on a bike trail crossing Raymond Road when she was hit by a car. She died several days later. No citation was issued for the driver, Brian Hodgson. An investigation from Madison police concluded that Zhu did not have the right-of-way when she was biking, but her parents filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the driver. Their lawyers argued that he deleted text messages off his cell phone and failed to present his phone as evidence for the lawsuit. Hodgson and his wife later filed for bankruptcy. Today, a judge said that they did that to delay or to defraud a creditor, specifically Zhu's parents. The wrongful death lawsuit will likely go on as planned now.
All right, Rose Schmidt with that update in our news center tonight. Rose, thank you.
New tonight, a 21-year-old wrestler from the UW has died in a car crash. The wrestling team says their hearts are heavy after hearing about the loss of their teammate Eli Stickley. He died last night in a car crash in Illinois. Stickley is an Ohio native and was an academic All-American wrestler and an NCAA qualifier. According to the Athletes in Action Wisconsin Twitter page, they will be meeting at Heritage Hall at 7 o'clock to remember him.
New information about the pedestrian-involved crash last night along the Beltline. The woman who was hit, now said to be in stable condition. This happened just before 8 near the Southtown Drive exit. All westbound lanes of the Beltline were closed for about a half hour. Police say the 23-year-old woman had exited a vehicle near Southtown Drive at Royal Avenue, then ran down the eastbound on-ramp to the Beltline, tried running across traffic, where she was then hit by a white van driven by a 68-year-old Madison woman. The investigation into that incident is still ongoing.
A Madison man was sentenced to prison time for being in possession of one of the guns stolen from a Cross Plains gun shop last year. 25-year-old Keith Harris will spend the next 2 years in prison. He pleaded guilty to possessing and concealing a stolen gun in April. You may remember the robbery. It happened last October. 3 men smashed a stolen car through the locked storefront at PT Firearms. 14 firearms were stolen. So far, police have arrested 1 person who admitted to his involvement.
Auto thefts in the city of Madison are up 20% compared to this time last year. Police say it is a big problem with some relatively simple solutions. Our Keely Arthur has continuing coverage and takes a closer look at the issue.
More than 200 vehicles have been stolen in Madison so far this year, and police say it's pretty easy. Just open the car, grabbing the keys that are inside, and driving off.
We're trying to patrol as much as we can at night.
Officer Andy Slawek has seen and done a lot in his time serving Madison.
24 years.
But lately, one task seems all-consuming.
Yesterday, we had 9 stolen autos in a 24-hour period.
In June alone, 38 cars were stolen in Madison. 36 had the keys right inside. This is surveillance video showing a man walking into an open garage on the west side Thursday. He finds a key and drives off.
It's considered being broken into, but they've left the car door open.
Aside from the obvious fix of locking up, Slawek says the juveniles who predominantly commit these crimes need stricter penalties.
Yesterday, I arrested a 13-year-old from a stolen auto, and as I patted him down, found he had an ankle bracelet on him, which is a monitoring system. And before I could say anything, he gleefully said, "Yeah, that's from an auto I stole 2 weeks ago."
We spoke to a Dane County judge today who said the judges and commissioners are all very aware of the community and safety issues with auto thefts, adding we are tasked with avoiding removal from the home whenever possible, and that there are dwindling resources for effective care and treatment, particularly with out-of-home placement options. But that's not good enough for Slawek.
These circuit judges need to come up with something else.
Because he fears one day a joyride will become something far more deadly.
I mean, it's not if, it's when, because these 12 through 16-year-olds don't know how to drive a car.
And if you do see a car that you suspect has been stolen or someone driving recklessly, call it in. Make sure you get the make, model, and most importantly, the license plate for police. In Madison, Keely Arthur, WISC News 3.
Madison police are using social media to remind everyone to lock their car doors.
And you can show how you're doing your part to keep the community safe by using the hashtag #NightlyLockup. Let's turn it over to weather now. It's looking like a gorgeous weekend. Here's meteorologist Dave Caulfield. Dave.
Yeah, finally, Charlotte, we don't have to worry about that heat and humidity when we head into a weekend. We just have to worry about how long we're going to spend outside because it is very, very nice outside right now in downtown Madison. On the Edgewater Skycam, pretty much wall-to-wall sunshine, looking at 76 degrees. East-northeast wind at 6 miles per hour. That dew point below 50. Feeling so comfortable outside. 75 in Watertown, 78 in Lone Rock, still at 80 in Boscobel, and 75 in Monroe. Dew points in the 40s and 50s, even a 30. Is that even correct? In Janesville, very, very dry air, and this is a huge change from just about 24 hours ago. Much less humid outside, so we can definitely enjoy this weekend's weather. Wind speed's not too bad either. Out of the northeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. This evening, mostly clear and comfortable with temperatures falling through the 70s into the mid 60s. We'll talk more about this nice weather, plus when the humidity tries to make a comeback in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Dave, thank you. Some controversy leaves 3 open seats on the Beloit School Board. It comes after 4 board members held a special meeting Tuesday night to discuss the conduct of the board president.
During that meeting, they voted to remove Lori Endres from her seat as president. Shortly after that decision, the vice president and treasurer submitted resignations. Our Jamie Perez is just back from speaking with parents from Beloit on this issue. Jamie?
That's right. Well, none of the current board members or the ones who resigned wanted to comment, but I did get reaction from parents. Now, they didn't want to be shown on camera, but they do say the district has had issues for a while, so they're happy to see who they pick to fill those vacant seats. Now, according to a current board member, unfriendly email exchanges between the president and interim superintendent sparked the special meeting in the first place. Now, during that meeting is when the only 4 members to show up to that meeting voted the president out. This led the others to quit on the spot as well. Now, not only does the district now have to find a permanent superintendent, they need to fill the seats of president, vice president, and treasurer. Parents I spoke with today say they want to see people fill those seats who put their kids first.
I'm just happy they're gone, and I hope the board does its diligence in putting 3 new board members in place that will put the interests of our kids first.
The school board is holding a special meeting tomorrow from 8:30 to 4 p.m. and at the Board of Education office, room 106, to elect those new members. And there are also reports by the local paper that some members of the community are planning to protest that meeting tomorrow. We'll be sure to keep you updated on what happens with that.
Jamie Perez reporting tonight. Jamie, thank you.
Marquette University says it will comply with an order from the state Supreme Court to reinstate a conservative professor who was fired in connection to a blog post that criticized a student instructor. The court sided with former professor John McAdams today, saying the school breached a contract with him that guaranteed academic freedom. In a statement, the university says the case was never about free speech, but rather a professor who used a personal blog to mock a student teacher. The post criticized the student teacher he believes shut down discussion about opposition to gay marriage. That student teacher received a flood of hateful messages and threats because of that post. Still to come tonight, a Wisconsin Soda Company bringing back a pair of blasts from the past.
And retaliation against newly imposed tariffs that are having an impact right here on Wisconsin's agriculture industry. Welcome back. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders is coming to western Wisconsin for a campaign rally with Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin. Baldwin announced today that the former presidential candidate will appear with her at a rally in Eau Claire next Saturday, July 14th. Baldwin's race is a top target for Republicans. State Senator Leah Vukmir and Delafield management consultant Kevin Nicholson will face each other in the GOP primary on August 14th.
Both China and Mexico are retaliating against new U.S. tariffs taking effect today. The president targeted $34 billion in imports from China, identified $16 billion more that could be targeted in the next couple of weeks, another $500 billion in Chinese products to be taxed in the future. Mexico is increasing prices on imported cheese, and farmers can expect increased costs on products like soybeans, grains, and cotton exported to China. Wisconsin, of course, known for its cheese production, which is in jeopardy after the escalating trade disputes. Wholesale cheese and butter prices have already started to slump in recent weeks as buyers and sellers worry about the effect of new tariffs on dairy products. With the price of milk, grain, and other commodities already low, farmers will be losing more money. And as places like China turn to other countries for cheaper products, that reality might not get better for Wisconsin farmers anytime soon.
This is a little bit like, playing that game of musical chairs that somebody has taken your seat at the location here. So maybe you can run around and find another customer in another country that we aren't having a trade war with. But it's inefficient, highly inefficient for running around looking for new customers and creating those new customer relationships around the world. It's not easy to do.
Wisconsin lost 500 dairy farms in 2017, and about 150 have quit milking cows so far this year, putting the total number of milk cow herds at about 7,600. That is down 20% from just 5 years ago.
Jolly Good Soda is relaunching two of its nostalgic flavors. The Wisconsin-based soda brand said in a press release this week that they are bringing back blue raspberry and pina colada as part of their permanent products in their soda lines. In total, 8 flavors are now available for retail. Ella's Deli, a Madison landmark for decades that closed earlier this year, is getting all packed up. We reported yesterday that Ella's carousel and collection of playful art has been sold to Epic in Verona. According to Ken Balkin, owner of the restaurant, Epic will be a great place for the collection and its legacy to continue.
We've heard from so many people that, as a child, they sat at a certain table, or there was a particular, one of the art pieces that they really related to, that they remembered so well, that, they would come back year after year after year, and they'd see it, and they would tell stories to their family members.
Balkin says that it could take about a week to move everything out. As for the property, even if it isn't Ella's, he wants it to remain a restaurant. There is more to come tonight at 6.
When we come back, a Madison man hoping to go pro in one of the fastest growing sports in the country. The one thing standing in his way ahead in sports.
The comfy conditions come with us into the weekend, but the humidity and warm temperatures, they try to make a comeback on Monday. All of your forecasts next.
Well, it felt even cool at times very early this morning. A big change from what we'd experienced the last few days. Dave Caulfield looking into the weekend for us.
It's a welcome change, Charlotte and Eric, because it just feels so nice outside. A great evening to maybe get the grill out once again, go for a run or walk with the pets or without them. It's whatever you want to do. It's a great night to do it. Visible Cloud Track basically has had the day off. There are a couple of clouds in Minnesota associated with some thunderstorms, but they will lose steam as they get a little bit closer to southern Wisconsin. Actually already starting to see those showers dwindle before they even get to the Twin Cities. In Madison, Doppler track is going to have a lot of time to think because not too much popping up over the next couple of days and even into portions of early next week. It will be quiet on Doppler track. High temperatures today made it into the upper 70s, some low 80s as well, like in basketball and lacrosse. But we had a bit of an easterly component to the wind, so that kept temperatures down just a little bit today, a little bit below normal overall for this time of year. July temperatures, though, we ended June on a hot note and we started July on a hot note today, the first day where the monthly departure, or the daily departure, I should say, in temperature land is below normal for this time of year. I think we'll be very close to where we should be as we head into tomorrow and on Sunday with low humidity. It's a wonderful weather weekend on the way. Temperatures right now still in the 70s, a few 80s also popping up in Black River Falls and Basketball. 74 in Monroe, 76 in Madison. Dew points, though, oh, that is a forecast to make you salivate. If you salivate due to the forecast, you may want to consult a doctor. But with dew points like this, I can understand it because it's a 20 to 30 degree dew point drop from yesterday at this time in Janesville. We basically cut that humidity in half and then some. Time lapse in Madison, the WISC-TV Skycam saw a very nice sunrise and lots of sunshine throughout the day. Really no clouds showing up on this, and no clouds right now in Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam. High temperature trend, we will start to notice those changes once again as we head into Monday. Highs will make it into the upper 80s, and that's where they'll stay into much of the work week next week. Feels like temperatures will be in the mid to upper 90s at times, so enjoy the next couple of days because these cooler temperatures are really not going to be around for very long. It doesn't look like in July. Future track, though, showing this high pressure system. That's what we can thank for this cooler and, most importantly, drier air sticking around for Saturday and Sunday. Plenty of sunshine over the next couple of days and mild, maybe a little bit warmer on Sunday, but not by much. I think the warm weather really starts to get here as we head into Monday. 50s tonight, very comfortable, not humid at all. Temperatures will make it into the 80s tomorrow. Future track should be pretty quiet over the next couple of days. Just a few clouds, mostly clear skies, comfortably cool overnight as we head into tomorrow. Also very comfortable. Highs will be in the low 80s on Saturday, and on Sunday, maybe a few degrees warmer in the mid 80s. Still with a good amount of sunshine, though. 7-day forecast showing those temperatures approaching 90 degrees next week. The humidity comes back, so it will feel like the upper 90s at times. Our chance of rain arrives for the next time, that is, on Thursday and Friday.
A Madison fighter looks to take his MMA talents to the UFC. The story of Alton Cunningham in sports.
Hello, I'm Madeline O'Neill. Tonight on your news at 9, the latest on rescue efforts at a Thailand cave, including what a U.S. billionaire is doing to help. First on Fox at 9.
The World Cup quarterfinals produced two great games in Russia today. In the first one, France beat Uruguay and tomorrow. Sweden and England play at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, Madison time. Russia and Croatia are the afternoon game at 1 tomorrow. Brewers play the Atlanta Braves at Miller Park again tonight, looking for their 5th straight win. Freddie Peralta gets the start for Milwaukee. This afternoon, the Cubs host Cincinnati. The Reds' Adam Duvall drives in the first run in the 4th inning, and the Reds never give up the lead. Final score, Reds 3, Cubs 2. The Brewers have a 2-game lead on the Cubs in the Central. Madison's Alton Cunningham wants to be a UFC fighter. Next Tuesday, he has a chance to win a full-time UFC contract if he beats Bevon Lewis in a bout in Las Vegas. Cunningham's unbeaten as a pro, and he hopes that streak takes him to the highest level in the sport. Kevin Lewis has the story.
This is an absolutely incredible, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and being on this platform, it sets me up for something greater.
It seemed like succeeding in an individual sport was something Cunningham was destined to do.
I was the only child. My sister died when she was 2 months old. I was 2 years old, so I don't really remember her. I think about her all the time. Even though I don't know her, she's still a part of me. So growing up as the only child, everything I did was individualized. I found the sport of mixed martial arts. It just naturally clicked with me. It was something about the sport that I just got the jitters right away.
Alton has a family of his own, and having a 4-year-old son has given him a different perspective.
It's not about me anymore, it's about him, and I look at it as, what legacy do I want to leave for him? Do I want him to think big to where, you can reach for the stars and at the very least you're going to land on the moon?
Cunningham's coach, Army veteran and martial arts master Lawrence Pearson has been there since day one. Alton asked, "Can you make me a champion?" Pearson said, "Absolutely, but you have to put in the work."
I've never seen a passion from another person in MMA like his. He puts in the time, he comes to sparring, comes to the technique classes, because most guys think that they can be a fighter in 2 or 3 months. I actually held him back for 2 years before he actually fought. So if you think you're gonna do this in 3 months and be at this level, you're wrong.
It's a long way from Madison to Las Vegas, but that distance might close pretty soon.
For him to make it to the UFC as a full-time fighter, that changes not only his life, but also lets people know that we're doing martial arts on a big scene here in our gym.
It's the biggest fight of his life. So yeah, Alton's gonna have a few butterflies when he steps in the UFC octagon.
If I didn't get any nerves, then what am I here for? I thrive on that.
And that's the real deal. It's Dana White's Tuesday Night Contenders series. So, it's the major leagues of MMA. So. Sure. He's that close.
So many people buy these things on pay-per-view, and now we got a local guy you can pull for.
It's one tough sport.
Yeah.
Not for everyone.
Yeah. We wish him the best of luck in Vegas. All right, Dave, final check.
We've been fighting really hard with this humidity, but finally we win that fight this weekend. Platteville looking very, very nice. A great evening on tap. Temperatures in the 70s, dew points in the 40s and 50s. So it feels very, very nice. And it will feel nice tomorrow as well. Plenty of sunshine. Temperatures should make it into the low 80s. Low humidity. It's going to feel fantastic.
All right. Thanks for joining us for News 3 at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.